Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about working for free. In my opinion, those of us that need more work, are trying to drum up more work, or trying to do work that we want to do, that we have little experience with, the kicker, in my opinion, is doing work for free or for cheap. Now, obviously, you can't work for free forever. A business has got to make money. Speaking of, we are working on a branding and marketing course. We do plan on pre-selling it pretty soon. If you want to get notified whenever we pre-sell it, you can get on our email list at arosswelding.school. You should be able to scroll all the way to the bottom, punch in your email. Anywhere where you can punch in your email on our website, arosswelding.school, that puts you on the email list, and you should get an email whenever we launch a course. While we're on the topic of email list, it is now November, getting to be holiday season. You're thinking about Christmas gifts for friends, family, and whatnot, things you may want. If you want to get notified about new products that we drop in the Aross Welding store or sales that we have going on, you can get on our email list at arosswelding.com. We will try to put these links in the description of the video, but it's very simple. Go to arosswelding.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, punch in your email. Same with the arosswelding.school, scroll all the way to the bottom, punch in your email, and that will put you on the email list, and you will get notified about anything that goes on here with Aross Welding. So there's a couple of reasons why, in my opinion, you should be working for free or cheap. One is to gain credibility. So the reason you can't find work is because people don't know you, they don't know what you're capable of, so you don't have any credibility around what you're trying to sell, the service you're trying to sell. But if you offer work for free or work some type of deal to be able to prove yourself, and you do that enough, you can slowly, every new customer that you come across, you can slowly, add to your price, or, do what you need to. You can adjust your price according to the experience that you're getting and according to the demand that you start gaining for your skill set and what you're offering. Another reason, in my opinion, that you should be working for free or for cheap whenever you're green is if to find out how much you really like welding, or whatever it is, whatever type of welding you're trying to get into, whether you're trying to get into pipeline, whether you're trying to get into mobile rig welding, or whatever that looks like. And by the way, there's more ways than to just work for free or work for cheap. One of those ways is going to work for other companies. So a lot of students that come out of high school, out of their either tech school, learn how to weld, or maybe they don't even go to tech school, but they got a lot of welding experience in ag class or something. They usually, right out of high school, go work for somebody else. That's what I did. Stay tuned on the channel. I've got a video coming soon talking about all the jobs that I had before I was a pipeline welder. And I'm excited to share that with you because it's way more than I thought. I knew there was a lot, but whenever I started writing them down, it was crazy how many jobs I had before I started pipeline welding. So anyway, my point is working for other people is obviously, the best thing, because you make a little money and you're also getting experience. But for those of you that are, feel like you want to start your own mobile welding business, you've got a welder, you've got a truck, and you're just trying to drum up more work and you're struggling in that area, get super creative about what you can offer or how you can offer your service for cheap or free or whatever to gain that experience. The reason I bring up doing stuff for free or for cheap to see whether you really like it is because I learned this in a conversation I was having with my wife and a buddy the other day. We were talking about how the younger generation nowadays lives right here, like they know nothing but, that is how they consume information and stuff, is right here on their mobile device. And you got Instagram and YouTube and all this stuff, and they're just consumed with all this positive, maybe it's not all positive, but like they're consumed with all these people like myself that have pipelined, and I shared that I was pipelining. So you see that as a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, like that's all you've ever seen, and that's who you're following, that's what you're consuming. You start to do things because of a status versus because you actually like it. So that's what stemmed this video, part of this video. I've had this video idea wrote down for a long time, but you need to figure out whether you really like it or not, Because if you don't really like it, you'll find yourself grumpy. Maybe you enjoy fishing way more than you enjoy getting up at 5, 6 a.m. to go be a helper on a pipeline job. Maybe you enjoy playing video games more. That's a touchy subject with myself and those older than me, because we don't understand, like, why do you, you don't need to play video games. But if you enjoy playing video games more than you enjoy your job, there's something missing. There's a lot of different variables that go into this, but what I'm trying to talk about is, and what I'm trying to get across is, and trying to make simple, I don't know whether I'm doing a very good job of that or not, but is working for free to get credibility if you really and truly want to do mobile welding, for example, but also finding out whether you truly like it. A lot of people, I've heard stories and testimonies, that continue to stay in this job, corporate job, whatever job, welders, old grumpy welders that I've worked with, they continue to stay in it because it pays good. But they're grumpy otherwise. They can't wait to get off work. They can't wait to, get laid off. Like they don't even want to be there, but they're there because they've got used to the money. And that's so, like, I guess, depressing to me. Like, I want to encourage you to do what you enjoy doing. You may be watching this and thinking that you want to weld, but you've done a little bit of it. Maybe you're a helper right now, but you really don't enjoy it. You enjoy something else way more. I enjoy focusing more on what you enjoy, and then learning other aspects about finance and business. And the reason I say that is because if you can do something that you enjoy that fulfills you, but doesn't pay as good, but you can manage your money better, or you can create a business around it, that is the direction I would encourage you to go, versus continuing to do something that you just absolutely don't like. Now, again, there's a lot of nuance to this, and I'm not saying go quit your job right now, but have bigger goals. Be working on something in the background, maybe. You know what I mean? Like don't solely rely on something that you are not enjoying. Continue to be a helper for a while, however long you need to, or a pipeline welder, or a rig welder, or shop welder, whatever it is that you're doing that you just don't totally enjoy. Continue to do it, but have a bigger picture in mind. Be creating something else up here, and start thinking of actionable steps you can take to start doing that for a living, or find a balance. You know what I mean? Like, try to do more of the stuff you enjoy, and maybe work part-time or something. I don't know. I can't tell you your exact situation, but I just really wanted to share this video about working for cheap or free to really do some soul searching, if you will, and find out what it is you actually enjoy doing. And lastly, for those of you that are experienced, you have a few years under your belt of mobile welding, but you've been wanting to venture into something more interesting for you, like maybe you're interested in building buildings, but you've been welding on equipment, or vice versa. Been building buildings, but you want to get into equipment. Sometimes that means offering or doing work for free just to get the experience of that particular type of welding. I've said this before on the channel, but there's tons of different things you can niche in, that you can focus in on, hone in on when it comes to welding. There's stick welding. That's primarily what I do. But you can have a whole welding career of just TIG welding. You can have a whole welding career of just MIG welding, just spray arc, just handrails and stairs, for the most part, maybe decks or whatever. But maybe you never touch a piece of equipment. There's so many different things that you can focus on, and I actually recommend, from a business standpoint, you will come to a time in your business, if you do it long enough and you continue to grow and challenge yourself, you will come to a crossroads where you will notice that it is important to focus on something versus so many things. But all that to say is, an example that I want to give is, for me, I could, by the way, for those of you that may not be aware, I could have been back on a pipeline job a couple of years ago. We have made the decision with our business because of the YouTube channel and because of the trade school, the arosswelding.school, we have decided to focus on online education. Therefore, I have had to say no to pipeline jobs, say no to more service-based. I still do service-based jobs, but I've had to say no to more of it so I could put more of my time and energy towards the stuff that we want to focus on, and that's going to move the needle more for our personal business. So that's an example right there. But an example I always like to think of, like something that, like I've always like just loved the idea of welding at the top of a skyscraper or something. You know what I mean? Like that's just like what a feeling, you know? Like I would do that for free one day. You know, like I said, obviously you can't do this stuff, you know, forever. You know, you have to do something to make a living, but I would literally, if I had the opportunity, I met somebody that built skyscrapers, you know, I would go work for somebody for free for one day just to get the experience of what it's like, the process of what it's like to be a welder on a skyscraper. Like, what an experience. And that's just really just to say I've done it and just like literally to experience it. That doesn't even have anything to do with because I want to necessarily get into that. Although I am super intrigued with skyscrapers and bridges and stuff. But another example is I've worked with older guys that have worked on jobs in, like, I forget where Utah comes to mind, but like pipeline jobs that where they've had to use helicopters to lower in pipe or lower in or string pipe or whatever. They've had to use helicopters on parts of these pipeline jobs. And I would absolutely love to work on a job where there was helicopters running around all day or a lot of the times with pipe hanging from the helicopter. I don't care what the job was paying. I don't care. And you know, that's something that I really struggle with and that I want to bring up in the podcast whenever we start our podcast, because it's coming sooner rather than later, because I'm so excited to start involving conversation here on the YouTube channel or wherever we do this podcast. And because I never want anybody to get the wrong idea that we don't need to charge properly for our business and for our welding trucks. That's one of the reasons I'm in the 798 is because it's very business oriented. You know, it's very it's like professional, more professional in my opinion. You know, you're treated more professionally. You get paid more professionally, like compensated for what things cost and what, you know, your expenses and stuff and your skill set and all that. So anyway, I never want to encourage anybody to undercharge like what you're actually worth, but I just want to express my like what I've noticed about how powerful passion mixed with like business and what that can mean. Now, like I said, there's a lot of different variables, and a lot of variables we will talk about in the branding and marketing course, you know, about how to market your small business, whatever that is, in your small town, in your local town, whatever, like how to focus more in on, you know, what you want to offer, and all kinds of other things, you know, websites, how to get your name on Google whenever people Google welding business in my area. We'll go over all that in the business or the branding and marketing course. I don't know what we're going to name it yet, but that'll help round out more of what I'm getting at here in this video. But I just think it's powerful to take money out of the equation for at least a second so you can really learn about yourself and learn about what's more important than money. In this line of work, in working for yourself, and when trying to get established and trying to get into new ventures, experience is way more valuable than money, because you got to have the experience before you can add value to your clientele. So I hope some of that made sense. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out arosswelding.com. Scroll to the bottom, get on our email list. Go to arosswelding.school, scroll to the bottom, get on our email list. That way you get notified about anything that's going on with Aross Welding. And also at arosswelding.com, somewhere close to the bottom, there should be a favorites page. All my favorite things that I use and that I wear, tools, gear, whatever, like, is on that list. So for those of you that know somebody that does what I do in the welding industry, or if you want to share that list with whoever is going to get you Christmas gifts, have them check out that favorites page. A lot of gift ideas there. So thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, learn something every day.